My name is Robert. I'm 71 years old, and I worked 43 years on factory floors, starting when I was just 18, fresh out of high school in 1970. I built transmissions for Ford, then switched to John Deere manufacturing agricultural equipment. I did everything right, or so I thought. I showed up every day, never missed a shift unless I was in the hospital. I maxed out my 401k contributions for the last 25 years of my career. By the time I retired at 65, I had 485,000 saved. It felt like all those years of hard work, the overtime shifts, the aching back, and stained hands, it had all been worth it. But sitting here today, 6 years into retirement, I've lost 370,000 of that money, not to some scam artist or stock market crash. I lost it making decisions I thought were the right thing to do, helping my daughter when she got sick, supporting my grandson's education, and not understanding the brutal mathematics of taxes and penalties that the retirement system never explained to working guys like me. Some nights I sit in this chair and wonder how I got here. How does a man work his entire adult life, save diligently, do everything the financial advisors tell him to do, and still end up terrified he'll outlive his money? I'm sharing my story today because if even one person watching this avoids the mistakes I made, then maybe all this pain will mean something. So let me tell you exactly what happened and what I wish someone had told me before I retired. When I started working at Ford in 1970, the world was different. You got a job at a good factory, you worked hard, you stayed loyal, and the company took care of you when you were done. My father worked 40 years at a steel mill and retired with a full pension and health care for life. That was the promise. Work hard, and you'll be taken care of. When I started, I made $3.85 an hour, which felt like good money back then. By 1975, I was making almost $8,000 an hour with overtime. The older guys on the line told me the same thing my dad had. Keep your head down, save what you can, and the pension will handle the rest. Ford had a defined benefit pension plan back then, and everyone talked about it like it was gold. You worked your 30 years, and you got a monthly check for life based on your years of service and final salary. It was simple. It was secure. Or at least, that's what we all believed. But by the mid-1980s, things started changing. Companies began shifting away from pensions and toward 401k plans, putting the responsibility on us to save for our own retirement. I remember the day the HR representative came to explain the new 401k program. She was young, probably fresh out of college, and she stood in the break room with an overhead projector showing us charts about tax, deferred growth, and company matching. Most of us didn't understand half of what she said. We were guys who worked with our hands, not accountants. But the message was clear. If we didn't put money into this 401k thing, we'd have nothing but Social Security when we were old. The pension was being phased out for new hires, and even those of us who'd been there for years would get a reduced pension combined with whatever we saved in the 401k. I was scared, honestly. I'd been working 15 years, and suddenly the rules changed. So I signed up and started putting in 6% of my paycheck, which the company would match. It hurt. That was money I could have used for my mortgage or my kids' needs. But I kept hearing I had to do it or I'd be destitute in my old age. The advice we got was always the same. Max out your contributions, never touch it, let it grow, and by 65 you'll have plenty. The retirement seminars at work showed us projections If you saved $10,000 a year for 30 years with 8% returns, you'd have over 1.2 million. Those numbers seemed impossible, like winning the lottery. But I tried. I really tried. By the 1990s, I was contributing 10% of my salary. When I moved to John Deere in 1998 for better pay, I rolled everything into my new 401k and kept going. I watched those quarterly statements come in the mail, and the balance kept climbing, 50,000, then 100,000. By 2008, I had almost 280,000 saved, and I was 56 years old. I actually started believing the dream was possible. I'd have enough money to retire comfortably, travel with my wife Linda, help my kids if they needed it, and never be a burden to anyone. That was the goal that kept me going through the sore knees, the repetitive stress injuries, the night shifts that made me feel like a zombie. The 401k was my golden ticket out. I retired in February 2018, about 6 months after I turned 65. Linda had retired the year before from her job as a school secretary, and we'd been planning this for years. The math seemed to work out. I had 485,000 in my 401k, plus a small pension from Ford that would pay me $847 a month. And at 65, I could start drawing my reduced Social Security of ones on $850 per month. Linda would get $200 from her Social Security. Together, that was over $3,800 a month in guaranteed income, plus whatever we withdrew from the 401k. Our house was paid off. We had Medicare. The financial advisor I met with said we could safely withdraw 4% per year from the 401k, about $19,400 annually, or $617 per month without running out of money. That would give us around $5,400 per month to live on. It seemed like plenty. We weren't extravagant people. We'd lived modestly our whole lives. My last day at John Deere was emotional. I'd worked there 20 years, and before that, 23 at Ford. 43 years of factory work, of alarm clocks at 4:30 a.m., of steel-toed boots and safety glasses of grease under my fingernails that never fully washed out. The guys threw me a small party in the break room. There was a sheet cake with my name on it, and my supervisor gave a little speech about my dedication and reliability. I felt proud. I'd made it. I'd done what I was supposed to do, and now I was free. I remember walking out to my truck that last afternoon, carrying a cardboard box with my work gloves, my thermos, and a plaque they'd given me. The winter sun was low in the sky, and everything looked golden. I actually got a little choked up sitting in the driver's seat, knowing I'd never have to come back. I thought about all the mornings I'd driven through snow and ice to get there, all the times I'd worked through pain because we needed the money. It was over. I'd earned my rest. The first year of retirement felt like a long vacation. Linda and I did things we'd always talked about, but never had time for. We drove to the Grand Canyon that spring, something I'd wanted to see since I was a kid. We visited my brother in Arizona. We went to our grandson Tyler's baseball games without having to worry about shift schedules. I spent time in my garage workshop, building birdhouses and refinishing old furniture. Linda planted a bigger garden than ever before. We went out to dinner more often, nothing fancy, but it felt luxurious not to be exhausted all the time. Money came out of the 401k every month automatically. 617, just like the plan said. Combined with our pensions and Social Security, we had more than enough. I wasn't tracking our spending carefully. Why would I? We weren't buying anything crazy. A dinner out here, new tires for the truck there, some home repairs we'd been putting off. It felt responsible, even frugal by most standards. But looking back now, I can see the warning signs I ignored. Our spending that first year wasn't 5,400 a month like we'd planned. It was closer to 6,500. We told ourselves it was just because we were celebrating retirement that we'd tighten up later. We didn't track it on paper. We just checked the bank account, and if there was money there, we figured we were fine. I also didn't really understand how the 401k withdrawals worked with taxes. That wondered 6 to 17 coming out each month. I thought that was ours, free and clear. I didn't realize that every dollar I withdrew from my 401k would be taxed as ordinary income. At the end of that first year, our accountant told us we owed $3,800 in additional taxes because of the 401k withdrawals. I was shocked. Where did that come from? He explained that the 401k money was pre-tax. I'd never paid income tax on those contributions. So now that I was taking it out, the IRS wanted their cut. I'd also never had enough withheld from the monthly distributions. That $3,800 had to come from somewhere, so we took another withdrawal from the 401k to pay it. I didn't realize I was already making mistakes that would compound over the years. Everything changed in the summer of 2019, about 18 months into retirement. My daughter Sarah, who was 42, called us in tears. She'd been having severe abdominal pain for months, and after finally seeing a specialist, they found tumors on her ovaries. Cancer. Stage 3 ovarian cancer. Sarah was a single mom. She'd divorced a few years earlier, and she was raising my grandson Tyler, who was 15 at the time. She worked as a dental hygienist, had health insurance through her job, but the insurance wasn't covering everything. The specialist she needed to see was out of network. The hospital wanted upfront payments for the surgery. Even with insurance, her out-of-pocket maximum was 12 Zallos, and she didn't have it. She was crying, terrified, asking if we could help. What was I supposed to say? This was my daughter, my baby girl. I'd walk through fire for her. Linda and I talked about it that night. We had the money in the 401k. It was sitting there, growing. What good was money if we couldn't help our daughter when she was fighting for her life? We decided to withdraw a 15 Zalhosen to cover Sarah's medical bills and give her some breathing room during treatment. I called Fidelity the next morning and requested the withdrawal. The representative asked me if I understood the tax implications. I said yes, even though I didn't really. I just wanted to get the money to Sarah. Within a week, we had a check for 15 Zalosen. I drove it over to Sarah's house, and when I handed it to her, she broke down crying and hugged me so tight. She kept saying, "Thank you, Daddy, thank you." In that moment, I felt like I was doing exactly what a father should do. I was protecting my child. The money was worth it. But here's what I didn't understand about that decision, and what I wish someone had explained to me in terms I could grasp. When you take money out of a 401k before age 59T, you pay a 10% early withdrawal penalty to the IRS on top of regular income taxes. I was 66, so I didn't have that penalty. That was good. But the 15 Zalhosen I withdrew was added to my taxable income for that year. My Social Security, my pension, and now an extra 15 Zalhosen meant I was in a higher tax bracket. When tax time came around in 2020, we owed $4,200 in additional federal and state taxes. I hadn't withheld enough from the 401k withdrawal, so to pay that tax bill, I took another 5,000 Zalhosen out of the 401k. But that 5,000 Zalhosen withdrawal also got taxed, so I actually needed to take out about 6,500 to net the 5,000 Zalhosen I needed. Do you see how this works? Every time you pull money out, you owe taxes on it, which means you need to pull out even more money to pay those taxes, and then you owe taxes on that money too. It's a vicious cycle that eats away at your savings faster than you can imagine. Sarah's treatment lasted almost a year. She had surgery, then chemotherapy, then radiation. She lost her hair. She lost weight. She couldn't work for months. Tyler was struggling in school, acting out, scared he was going to lose his mom. Linda and I helped however we could. We drove Sarah to appointments. We had Tyler stay with us when Sarah was too sick, and when Sarah couldn't pay her mortgage for 3 months because she had no income, we helped with that too. Another $4,500 when her car broke down and she needed it fixed to get to chemo treatments. We paid for that. Another $800. It wasn't one big decision. It was 100 small ones, and every single one felt necessary and right. Each time I'd call Fidelity and make another withdrawal. $3,000 in here, $5,000 in there. By the end of 2020, I'd withdrawn an additional $47,000 beyond my planned annual withdrawal. My 401k balance, which had been $485,000 when I retired, was now down to $398,000. I'd lost almost $90,000 in less than 3 years. Sarah survived. By mid-2021, she was cancer-free, back to work part-time and slowly rebuilding her life. I was grateful beyond words. But the financial damage was done, and it wasn't over. Tyler had been accepted to Iowa State University to study engineering. It was his dream school, and he'd worked hard to get in. But Sarah's credit was destroyed from the medical bills and missed mortgage payments. She couldn't qualify for parent PLS loans to help pay for college. Tyler got some financial aid and scholarships, but there was still an $18,000 gap for his first year. He was talking about working for a few years and saving up money first. I couldn't let that happen. This kid had watched his mom nearly die. He'd been through hell. He deserved this chance. So Linda and I talked about it again. We decided to help Tyler with his first year of college. We withdrew $20,000 from the 401k in August 2021. It dropped our balance to $361,000. I told myself it was an investment in Tyler's future, and that once he graduated and got a good engineering job, he'd be set for life. Maybe he'd even be able to help us someday if we needed it. I was trying to think long term, trying to believe we were doing the right thing. But that withdrawal, like all the others, got taxed. And because I'd already withdrawn so much that year for ongoing help with Sarah's recovery expenses, we ended up owing $6,800 in taxes the next April. I took another withdrawal to cover it. By the spring of 2022, 4 years into retirement, my 401k was down to $334,000. I'd lost $151,000. The stock market hadn't crashed. I hadn't been scammed. I'd given it away out of love, and every withdrawal had been taxed into oblivion. Here's what happens when you start depleting your retirement savings faster than planned. You panic, and then you make even worse decisions. By 2022, I was scared. I was watching my 401k balance drop every quarter, and I knew I was in trouble. I was 69 years old. I'd withdrawn almost $160,000 in 4 years, far more than the $707,000 I should have taken out following the 4% rule. I started reading articles online about retirement planning, about withdrawal rates and sequence of return risk and tax efficient strategies. I was learning all this stuff I wish I'd understood 10 years earlier. I read that I needed to reduce my spending dramatically, that we were on track to run out of money by my late 70s. I felt sick. How had I gotten here? Linda and I tried to cut back. We stopped going out to eat. We canceled a trip to see her sister in Florida. We started shopping at Aldi instead of the regular grocery store. But the damage was done, and it's hard to undo years of withdrawals. The money was gone. Plus, life keeps happening. Our roof started leaking in 2022 and needed ATEP 500 in repairs. You can't just not fix a roof. I had to take another withdrawal. Then my truck needed a new transmission. Ironic, considering I'd spent 23 years building transmissions. And that was 3.200. Another withdrawal. Tyler needed help with his sophomore year expenses. Another 12,000. Each time I called Fidelity, I felt a little more ashamed. Each time, the representative would process the withdrawal without judgment, but I could imagine what they were thinking. This guy is destroying his retirement. The breaking point came in January 2024. I got my annual statement from Fidelity showing my 401k balance, a 1 in 15 Zalosen. I stared at that number for a long time. I'd started retirement with 485 Zalosen just 6 years earlier. I'd lost 370,000. At 71 years old, I had 115,000 left, and at the rate I was going, it would be gone in another 3 or 4 years. Then what? Linda and I sat at the kitchen table, and I showed her the statement. We both just sat there in silence. She started crying quietly, and I felt like the biggest failure in the world. I'd worked 43 years. I'd done everything I was supposed to do. I'd saved consistently. I'd been responsible. And now, at 71, I was looking at the real possibility of being broke by 75. How does that happen? How does someone lose 370,000 in 6 years without gambling or losing it to fraud? That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in bed doing math in my head. If I stopped all withdrawals except the planned 106.17 per month, the 115,000 might last another 5-6 years. But that assumed no emergencies, no helping family, no major expenses. And it assumed the market didn't crash. I'd be 76 or 77 when it ran out. Then I'd be living solely on Social Security and my tiny pension, about $3,900 a month. Could we live on that? Our property taxes were $320 a month, utilities averaged at $200, car insurance $150, Medicare supplemental insurance $280, food $500 at minimum. That was already $450 before we paid for anything else. Gas, car repairs, home maintenance, medications, clothes, anything. We'd have maybe $2,450 a month for everything else. It would be tight, really tight. One major expense could break us. Here's what I understand now that I didn't understand when I was working or when I first retired. First, every dollar you take out of a pre-tax retirement account like a 401k gets taxed as ordinary income. If you're in the 22% federal tax bracket plus 5% state tax, you're losing 27 cents of every dollar to taxes immediately. So if you need 10,000, you actually need to withdraw about 13,700 to net 10,000 as after taxes. This compounds fast. Second, when you withdraw more than your planned amount, you're not just losing that money, you're losing all the future growth that money would have generated. The 370,000 I withdrew wasn't just 370,000. It was potentially 600,000 or 700,000 over the next 15-20 years if it had stayed invested and grown. I robbed my 80-year-old self to help my family now. Third, helping family in retirement is incredibly dangerous if you don't have a solid plan and stick to it. I love my daughter and grandson with everything I have, but I should have found other ways to help them that didn't destroy my own security. I could have helped Sarah negotiate payment plans with the hospital. I could have helped Tyler apply for more scholarships or take out student loans in his own name. I could have given smaller amounts that wouldn't have triggered such massive tax consequences. Instead, I took out huge chunks at once, which not only got taxed, but also pushed us into higher tax brackets, making everything worse. The financial advisor I saw recently told me that if I'd only helped with 5,000 per year, instead of 20,000 to 30,000 in single years, the tax impact would have been a fraction of what I paid. Fourth, you have to account for taxes in your retirement planning. I didn't. I thought I had 485,000 to spend, but I really had 485,000 minus whatever the government would take in taxes every time I touched it. That's a huge difference. A proper plan would have included Roth conversions in my early retirement years when I was in lower tax brackets, strategic withdrawals that minimize taxes, and maintaining enough in taxable accounts to handle emergencies without raiding the 401k. I didn't do any of that because I didn't know any of that. Fifth, once you start breaking your withdrawal plan, it's incredibly hard to stop. It becomes normal to just take money out whenever you need it. The psychological barrier breaks down. You stop seeing it as, this is my survival money, and start seeing it as, this is available money. That shift in mindset is deadly. Today, at 71, Linda and I live very differently than I imagined we would in retirement. We're not destitute. We have our home, our health insurance, our social security and pension, but the financial cushion I worked 43 years to build is almost gone. We live on a strict budget now. I track every dollar in a notebook I keep on the kitchen counter. Groceries, 120 per week maximum, and we plan meals around what's on sale. We haven't gone out to dinner in over a year. Our vacation last summer was driving 90 miles to see Linda's sister for a long weekend, and we packed sandwiches for the drive to save money on food. The truck is 14 years old, and I pray it keeps running because I can't afford to replace it. I do all the maintenance myself in the garage, oil changes, brake pads, whatever I can manage with my arthritis, stiff hands. I take 900 out of the 401k each month now instead of 1,617. That's all I can afford to withdraw if I want it to last until I'm 80. Combined with Social Security and pension, we have about 4,700 per month. After all the fixed expenses, property taxes, insurance, utilities, Medicare supplements, we have roughly 2,200 a month for food, gas, clothing, home repairs, and everything else. It's doable, but there's no margin for error. Last month, the washing machine started making a terrible grinding noise, and I spent 3 hours on YouTube learning how to replace the bearings myself, because a repair person would have cost $150. I got it working, but my back hurt for days afterward. I'm 71 years old, crawling around on the laundry room floor with a socket wrench. This isn't how I pictured retirement. The hardest part isn't the budget or the sacrifices. It's the fear. I wake up some nights with my heart racing, thinking about what happens if the 401k runs out, if the stock market crashes, if one of us gets seriously sick, if the roof fails, if the truck dies. We have no cushion, no emergency fund, no backup plan. If something major goes wrong, we're in serious trouble. I look at guys my age who are traveling, who are playing golf, who seem relaxed and comfortable, and I feel this deep shame. I worked just as hard as they did. I saved, but I made mistakes, and now I'm paying for them every single day. Some people might judge me for helping my family the way I did. Maybe they'd say I was foolish, that I should have let Sarah figure it out on her own, that Tyler should have taken loans. But I can't regret helping them. Sarah is alive and healthy. Tyler is thriving at Iowa State, on track to graduate next year. Those are victories. But I wish I'd been smarter about how I help them. I've found small joys where I can. I still work in my garage workshop, though now I build things to sell at the farmer's market. Cutting boards, small shelves, birdhouses. I might make a 40 or 60 on a good Saturday, which helps with groceries. Linda has a garden that's gotten bigger each year, and in summer we hardly have to buy vegetables. We eat a lot of tomatoes, green beans, zucchini. She cans and freezes what we can't eat fresh. We've learned to be creative. We walk in the park instead of going to movies. We have friends over for coffee instead of meeting at restaurants. We watch our grandson's college baseball games on live stream instead of driving 6 hours each way to see them in person. We're making it work. But it's not what I thought my 70s would be like. The thing about retirement mistakes is that you can't undo them. The money is gone. The growth potential is gone. The time is gone. I can't go back to 2019 and make a different choice when Sarah got sick. I can't recover those years of over withdrawals and tax penalties. What's done is done, but I can share what I've learned so that maybe, just maybe, someone watching this will think twice before making the same mistakes I did. If you're still working, please understand that your 401k isn't just a pile of money sitting there. It's a tax-deferred account, which means Uncle Sam is a silent partner in every dollar you've saved. Plan for taxes. If you're approaching retirement, work with a real financial advisor, not just someone at the 401k company, but a fiduciary who's legally required to act in your best interest. Understand withdrawal strategies. Learn about Roth conversions. Understand how your withdrawals will be taxed and how they might push you into higher brackets. And if you're already retired and you're thinking about helping adult children or grandchildren financially, please have a plan. Set limits. Don't give away your security. There are always other options. Payment plans, loans, scholarships, negotiated settlements. Your children don't want you to be broke in your 80s. They don't want to have to support you because you gave everything away trying to help them. The best gift you can give your family is your own financial stability. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Sarah would never have asked for help if she'd known it would cost me $370,000 and my peace of mind. She thought I had plenty. I thought I had plenty too. We were both wrong. The math is brutal and unforgiving. Retirement accounts seem like they have more money than they actually do because you forget about the taxes, you forget about the lost growth, you forget about inflation, you forget about how long you might live. A 71-year-old man today has a decent chance of living to 85 or 90. That's 14 to 19 more years. The money has to last. I want to end by saying this. I don't regret my 43 years of factory work. I'm proud of what I built, the transmissions and agricultural equipment that are still out there being used by people. I'm proud that I showed up every day, that I was reliable, that I did my job well, and I don't regret helping my daughter when she was sick or helping my grandson get his education. Those were acts of love, and love is never wasted. But I do regret not understanding the financial implications of those decisions. I regret not learning about taxes and withdrawal strategies when I had time to do something about it. I regret not asking harder questions and demanding clearer answers from the people who were supposed to help me plan for retirement. If you're watching this and you're approaching retirement, or you're already retired, or you're helping your parents navigate retirement, please learn from my mistakes. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. Don't be embarrassed to admit you don't understand something. Don't assume that because you saved money, you're automatically going to be fine. The rules are complicated. The system is designed to extract taxes at every turn, and one wrong move can cost you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Get professional help. Make a plan. Stick to the plan. Adjust the plan when life changes, but do it thoughtfully with full knowledge of the consequences. I'm sharing my story today because I think there are a lot of people like me out there. People who worked hard, saved what they could, and still ended up struggling in retirement. You're not alone. You're not a failure. The system is complex and unforgiving, and nobody teaches working class people like us how to really navigate it. But it's not too late to make changes if you're reading the warning signs. Cut spending now. Stop unnecessary withdrawals. Get help. Don't wait until your 401k is almost gone like mine is. If this video helped you, if it made you think about your own situation, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Share this with someone who's planning for retirement or who might be making similar mistakes. Leave a comment telling me about your own retirement journey, the good, the bad, and the lessons you've learned. We're all in this together, trying to figure out how to make our money last, how to maintain our dignity, how to live well in our final decades. Thank you for listening to an old factory worker's confession. I hope my mistakes can help you avoid your own. Take care of yourselves and take care of your money. You're going to need it.